Welcome back to the Mildly
Hit it.
Indecisive podcast. Oh, god damn it, Isaac.
What did I say? Hit it at the wrong time.
Yeah, right in the middle of my fucking sentence. Don't worry, T. It's only mildly scuffed. Don't worry.
I think you should just leave it. I think we should just keep rolling.
Yeah.
Gotta be better than our last intro.
Yo,
Hi,
so,
I'm like Ian.
yeah.
He's Isaac.
Isaac. All right. Today we're joined by special guest, friend of the show, Trenton Cooke. Welcome, sir. Nice to have you here.
Thank you. How's it going, everybody?
Fabulous,
Thank you, you too.
fabulous.
Blessed to be here.
For those of you who don't know,
I'm
T.
happy to
Cooke
be
here,
here.
Trenton,
Oh.
founder of Cookies Glass, owner, operator, all-around entrepreneur.
Also
Yeah.
one of our sponsors.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, our favorite sponsor at that.
Yes, sir. I love the show. Two of my good buddies here starting up something good. You know, I figure do everything I can to support it.
100%.
But yeah,
appreciate
running a little glass shop, selling bongs.
it.
Anybody got anything that they need? Check me out on Instagram. Quick little plug. That's all I'll say about
all
that.
good,
We
all
can move
good.
on. But
Yeah.
thank you for the little shout out.
So Cookies Glass.
That Instagram.
Your
Cookies
company
Yeah,
is
pretty much just on Instagram.
so I guess kind of like, why did you end up starting that in the first place?
Well, so to be really honest with you, like where I go to school out here in Antigonish at St. FX University, I kind of started getting introduced to the realm of smoking weed, I guess, in my first year of university here, when it kind of became legal. And there was a dispensary here, so that was great, but there wasn't really anywhere for you to go to get paraphernalia or accessories and the like. So I kind of identified a need based on that and started it up, and it's kind of been carrying on now. We operate in Canada and the US mostly, but the local markets obviously still help.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And I guess kind of like at that rate, your business then is mostly online currently, eh?
Yeah.
Pardon?
Your business is mostly online there, T. Have you thought about setting up like a storefront at all?
I have. It's probably not the best time to be doing that, and then even if I had a storefront right now, it wouldn't be allowed to be opened. But going forward, yeah, I'm thinking a store is probably the way to go. The website and the Instagram have kind of held me through for now, but I do think that I would like to get a proper display set up.
I feel like a
at some point
storefront
that
would be
people
really
can
fun.
browse. I agree.
Yeah.
I would
It'd be
also,
good as like a post-corona.
I'd love to be a retail owner. Yeah, especially coming out like next, like probably early next year kind of thing. There's gonna be a boom
For sure.
That's what I was gonna say. It's gonna be way easier. I guess that a lot of office space and even storefronts are gonna be way cheaper in a couple months to a year here because like after everybody gets out of the lockdown, a lot of businesses are gonna have closed, right? So
and a lot of the
It'll be
businesses that have been operating online,
and like
right, the ones that have been operating online might stay.
Well, it's gonna be
there.
nice because I think. Well, exactly. And like commercial landlords are gonna have to respond, and like if they want to make any money, they're gonna have to make the prices reasonable, because at the end of the day, you're also allowed to subsidize part of your home rent if you operate your business out of it as well.
Right.
that's not bad actually.
So
That's a smart idea to live.
They're incentivizing people heavily to start at-home businesses, and if big retail companies and commercial land developers want to continue to succeed, then they're going to have to align with the costs.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's just not moving. Like one of my buddies works in commercial real estate, and he's just like, stuff's not moving like it usually does. Like people just aren't looking to buy offices.
Nobody wants to buy it. Like nobody wants to lease the space right now. Exactly. And people are looking to downsize or get rid of their office entirely.
No, exactly. A lot of businesses have realized, hey, we can do this just as well online. But I don't think that works long term, right? You lose
Yeah.
that corporate kind of culture and everything that you've built in an office.
Yeah.
I don't
Mhm.
know.
I think that's going to be like the biggest
We'll
issue
see.
for
It's
companies to overcome is creating that culture that really drives like a business, like the backbone, right? You know, if you have your business side, but without the culture, without the people, you're not getting anywhere, and that's going to be what you have to solve, right? Not having the face-to-face interaction. I think the one cool thing,
All right.
and one thing that I think we've been talking about a bit was the idea of like life achievements. I think T would have hit one right there, right? T would have just hit like the start your
Yeah,
own
for sure.
business achievement would have popped up, and anyone that
Yeah, no,
knows video games or anything like that, right? You know, you get the little icon coming up and telling you did something good, and I think it'd be a hilarious idea to have them, you
Yeah.
know, just during your life, like the Sims, it just like pops up above your head, being like, he did this, you know,
Like, you did this. Good job.
yeah,
Yeah.
started a
Is it like-
business.
It's cool
Maybe, like,
because,
bad ones,
and like
though?
it is kind. I mean,
Sorry.
you could maybe
Go
like
ahead.
would you do fuck ups too? Would you have achievements and fuck ups?
Yeah, like
Like,
definitely.
you
Like,
go
go
back
to
to
jail.
oh.
Like a Monopoly. Like, go to jail. You know what I'm saying?
And that's my kind. I mean,
what up?
I kind of think
Like-
it's kind of ironic that you say that about.
Yeah.
You have like 6 kids in a trailer park, like white trash, unlocked.
I think it'd be hilarious if you could also like showcase like 3 of your achievements. You know what I mean? Like one, like just
Yeah,
always
that would
like
be
floating
awesome.
with you.
What I want them
These
to
are the
do, I
top
want them
3
to come up with
things
a
I did.
stock market for like people. You know what I'm saying? Did like a stock market where like every time the person does something good, their value jumps up. It's like based on their net worth. And then you can invest. But then the thing is, when the person dies, it goes to 0. So they have like a huge health event or they end up in the hospital or a car crash. It's like, like DMX stock would have been, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They start like doing high risk things, they go bungee jumping, their
But,
stock
like-
drops 20 points.
Wait, if it drops to 0, does it have the chance to come back up like a Picasso? His net worth would have been like super low, so he would have had like a 0 stock almost his entire life, and now it would just be all like the peak, you know?
No, you'd have to put that in, like the legacy. You'd have to have like 2 separate markets. You'd have to have like the living and then the legacy market. So maybe his legacy stock goes way up, but his living goes to shit.
Right.
Yeah, the collector's edition.
The legacy stock would
you
be
wanna
like the
make an
Bitcoin
NFT.
market of our of our generation.
Exactly. But if
Yeah,
people
we
can
should
make
just make mint
NFTs for
NFCs.
whatever the fuck,
We should just put the value of people in an NFC.
yeah, like make trading cards. But like NFT version, sell them, bro. Anybody can sell an NFT. That's what I'm starting to realize. 6 Plus made 2 NFTs and sold for $14K. Who the hell is paying that much?
That's fair. Like with the idea of achievements too, I just think it'd be fun to have like the creative people of the world, like especially like comedians and whatnot, just coming up with the names for them. You get ridiculous things.
Oh, you do like all kinds of them. Every time like a new drug hits your system, you got like drug achievement unlocked. Professional tripper.
Got someone's ear.
Imagine Mike Tyson's achievements right now. Heavyweight champion, veteran tripper, Stony Mandem,
And he's got someone's ear.
Yeah, he does.
ear biter.
Nah, that one would end
I
up
don't
that
know. No one
achievement would
else-
definitely be called the Van Gogh. But
And I don't know, like I don't know how many other people really have that one. Like that's pretty special. Like I've got someone else's ear.
yeah. I mean like Jeffrey Dahmer
Well,
might, but like about it.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's like a whole different category. He's got freezers full of a bunch of other shit too.
Jeffrey Dahmer's
I don't
called
know, we
Bird
can-
Collector level 20 or something like that.
Collector level 20.
Deep.
He's like
Oh,
organ
deep
donor
freeze.
level 12.
Oh my god. Oh, that's brutal.
People see his
Oh.
ID. Hey, you're an organ donor. Not just my own.
Fuck. That's so
here's,
good.
here's my freeze. Like, yeah, hey, I'm not dead, but I wanted to donate these.
Oh my
Cops start
god.
like looking for people based off their life achievements. This guy's got too many cannibal life achievements. I think that's not a good thing.
Yeah, achievements would really screw over some criminals, though.
Yeah,
Don't you
man,
think?
that's the problem. Yeah, no, are the achievements like monitored by the police? Because like, if that's the case, I don't want that.
I feel like it wouldn't be monitored by the police. I feel like it'd be like a personal thing, but if they're like displayed, like imagine you get away with like if you were like the Zodiac killer, just be like,
Yeah.
just get an achievement like 50 people killed unseen, whatever, and then it's like, or like evade police 20 years, and that's just there, and then someone walks by, they're like, oh, you're the guy. Never mind, I'm turning around. I'm out of
Got
here.
him.
Like, got him. Sorry. Like,
Here's the $1 million question, though: do you separate terrorism by levels, or do you do it domestic and non-domestic? Like, there's got to be like terrorist level 1, which is like you ran down a couple people with your car on a sidewalk. And there's like terrorist level 2, you set off a bomb somewhere. Terrorist level 22, you stormed the Capitol Hill.
and then is there like a special category just for eco-terrorism then?
Oh, I don't even know.
Like, I feel like, yeah.
I feel like you can go too
Oh,
deep.
that's
feel like-
rewarded in Isaac's books.
I feel like we're
Eco-terrorism?
building more of like a skill tree rather than a set of achievements. And it's kind of terrifying.
No, I want to go like cyberpunk in the future, where you can start getting robotic parts to replace your original body.
Oh
Definitely get a
man, like
couple
when
of
are the
those.
iPhones gonna be embeds? Like when is that gonna happen?
When do I just get
Like,
to
Whenever
be
you come out with that
cyborg, you gotta
Neuralink
think.
shit, it's going right in here. I'm going straight cyberpunk vibes. Fucking
Isaac's
chip
just
in my
gonna be
head.
the Terminator.
even
I
imagine
feel like
they
you
just,
get into an
calculate
existential
in
debate
it.
then. Like
I'm
how
already
much
in an
machine
existential
can we
debate.
how much machine can we add to ourselves before we stop being human altogether?
Once my brain can't control what the machines do.
True. And the question is, how much do we want
I
to be
go-
human when we can be a machine?
That's a great question. I go 70-30. As long as I'm still 30% human, we're all good. I want to keep my anatomy, my reproductive organs, and my brain. Pretty much the rest can go. Take bionic eyes over the regular ones any day. Same with hearing. I feel like if I could make my hearing more selective than it currently already is, pretty selective, but
Yeah.
But if
You know,
you
if
could
you could make
actually
it
just turn it
more-
off when you didn't want it on.
That'd be
oh,
sick.
that'd be epic. Just like
Like if there was actually
No,
a
I got
switch.
blood. Yeah, you just turn it off. Yeah, somebody's yelling at me, hearing off. Go fuck yourself.
Well, just think about it in the movies too. Imagine you could just like
old people have been
yourself.
taking advantage of that.
You could just have to hear the background noise of all the people, but just hear the movie. That'd be amazing.
Yeah,
Oh, there goes the
that
groovy
would be
bot.
actually. Yeah, it's probably a good thing. We didn't want him listening anyway.
Facts.
That's how Discord monitors their chats.
Just been a guy named Lenny on the
Well,
other side.
Here's a bit of an interesting topic. What are your guys' opinions about the concept of New World Order?
New World Order. Explain for those who
What
might
the
not know.
fuck is New World Order?
Well, for those of you who don't know what New World Order is, let me pull up a definition.
Definitely
for
not
you.
me, because like I definitely know exactly what you're talking about. And when you posed that question, I immediately had an opinion that I definitely formulated a while ago.
What's New World
Yeah,
Order?
so according to the Google search, New World Order is a conspiracy theory that hypothesizes a secretly emerging totalitarian world government.
Oh, like mole people?
So basically,
Like the mole people.
Like the Illuminati.
Yeah, that
yes,
shit.
like do you think that people are corroborating to essentially gain ultimate control over us?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I want some
But they're not gonna
1984
do
style
it.
thing. That'd be hilarious. Get in
Like
trouble for
you
owning.
already know. No, I break out though. Like I'm like, I don't know. I see this as the Matrix.
Nice.
I can just beat the Matrix.
You're
like,
gonna try and pull
I
like the
can see
Neo
them, but you don't
dodge
just
beat the
bullet.
Ma- like
end up getting shot.
I get what you're
But, like,
saying. Like in theory, they could be.
Yeah,
And social
do
media
we
makes it a lot easier.
actually? And can we actually beat the Matrix, or are we all just gonna get into this Matrix and not even really know it?
It's like, is the world a simulation or not? Right, essentially.
It is a
Oh,
simulation.
it's. You think so?
Yeah, I think there's a high probability we're in a simulation.
T, have you never had the thought
And we're just.
that we were actually the Sims and we were being controlled by someone else?
Well, I mean, you could argue that that's very much a biblical way of looking at things, and like we are entirely in control of our things, but there is something larger governing us.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I've
I
also
don't
just
know.
loved to think of the idea that I'm just some random guy that some guy like decided he wanted to play a video game, so he boots up the Sims, and I'm his character, and I'm wandering around doing random things all the time that I have no control over, but but like it feels like I do.
Well, here's
That's
my
why I think
thing,
it's a
right?
little bit.
Sorry, I was just going to talk about this Illuminati shit. I heard this conspiracy that kind of goes with what you're talking about Donald Trump. And before I get too far into this, I don't love Trump. I also don't hate him. So we're going to go a little back and forth. But a lot of people say, like, after all that Jeffrey Epstein came out, and he was clearly connected with that inner circle that included a lot of previous politicians and shit. You saw some of the paintings in his house, for example, were of previous presidents, previous politicians, some very, very wealthy people, all kind of in this cohort, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trump kind of disassociated involvement and cooperated heavily against kind of that whole sect. Do you know what I'm saying? That was with Epstein and all those guys.
Right.
And then once he got in power, he kind of got banned. And this is back to what I was kind of talking, or not really like banned, but he got hated on by the media for stuff he didn't necessarily even say. They kind of took it out of context a lot of the time. So I always do kind of think, maybe there is something like up there that's more powerful that was trying to get rid of him because he kind of went against it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He's the first one that didn't really do what the companies wanted. He kind of did what he wanted. What?
That kind of also brings up the question, though, is whether or not like corporations control us rather than, you know, ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they fully do. But that's like, especially social media companies, man. I think we don't give enough like headway to the power that like social media has, right? Like the fact that they can ban, well, even with Donald Trump, this is another good example. He's been banned from every social media platform.
Yeah, you just can't post on Twitter or Facebook or anything.
Yeah, and like you haven't heard of anything. He could be fucking dead for all I know.
Yeah, he kind of really
he's
dropped
gone, like,
You know
off.
what I'm saying?
He definitely
You
still
haven't
has
heard
a
anything about
platform. I don't know what it is, but he definitely still does for the people that want to listen to him. But you actually have to go out and find it now. It's not just going to be
It's just not broadcasted everywhere anymore, right?
No, it isn't at all.
The whole idea of like the whole simulation New World Order thing, to bring it back around, is like, I think there could be a society like that, but to like orchestrate something like that would take so much effort that I think it would be like these people that have like crazy ambitions but nowhere to go with them. It's just that like they're stuck.
It's not that hard though.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. Everybody's proven this. They've made so many successful cults, man. How many cults have come out and have been super successful?
My point
Like,
being, though, Isaac,
yeah,
is that they're
and,
not
like-
going to control everyone. People join a cult because they have an affiliation or they have some sort of like they realize there's something about it that they enjoy or that they connect with.
No, but cults are good at picking people they're extra vulnerable because they take them at a time when they're weak. Right now, everybody's a little extra vulnerable. Everybody's a little extra
everybody's weak. And we're trying
So
to give
if there
people
was a
something that is
time-
supposedly curing them.
So you
But
think
Also, supposedly has tracking capabilities in it.
yes, it's all
I don't think there's a
allegedly, but
tracker.
like
in the one, all right? There's no fucking tracker in the vaccine. If you're telling me they made a tracker that goddamn small, they can track me all they fucking want.
when I got mine,
And Bill Gates will
always
happily
laughed.
do that.
I was like, if they were putting a tracker on my arm, I thought it would have hurt more. So
Bro, when they
Yeah.
the best part when Sorry, this is a quick story. When I got my vaccine, there's like you sit in that waiting room afterwards, right? And you wait for like the 15, 20 minutes. There's two fucking guys sitting beside me, and there's like probably 50 people in this room. Everybody looks super stressed. And these two guys sitting beside me are going, "Yo, I feel the chip. I feel the chip." And his other buddy's like, "Me too, man. Me too." It's like people sitting there like sweating, like look like they're gonna cry. I'm sitting there like laughing my ass off, like, "Yo, these two fuckers, man."
Dude, that's
two guys are just
amazing.
going, "The chip. I feel the chip."
Oh, yo, that's
And like
some
my
good
thing is like I don't
communication.
have a conspiracy against the COVID vaccine, but like the biggest thing about the COVID vaccine is we don't know what it does or what's in it, and we only really know what they tell the media to tell us.
T, can you answer me this though? Do you know what's in the flu shot?
No, but the flu's different. Like they never really get the flu shot right.
My
Like
point
they just
being
pick
though,
and
T,
choose a strain of the
that
flu.
I don't know what the fuck they're putting in any of these things anyways.
No, but like there is more research, well, a lot more research to be done on any other vaccine that's taken the actual proper developmental stages.
Yeah, but that
you
means I
can go
gotta just
back and you
trust
can
some
find-
person to tell me that these things are right, because I'm not gonna know half the words in that document if I go to read it. Just flat out.
No, but a lot of them are done with studies and trials and are done with numbers of people in large controlled gatherings.
Yeah, I like to think so.
I like this. This is business at its finest right here. All right, this is what life is about. And for anybody who hasn't realized it, they need to grow the fuck up, or else never gonna win at this game we call capitalism. All right, everything in this world is about two things: risk versus reward. All right, this vaccine tests that exactly. Those people that make billions of dollars in a business somewhere, they risked a lot to start, but it came out with a big reward. But like Elon Musk right now, richest man in the world, Tesla could have failed after 2 months, and he could have been out millions upon millions of dollars after starting PayPal. Like, in all fairness, that could have fucked right up, and he could have lost all his money. That was a risk.
No,
so that's the game we're playing with this vaccine. I'm not saying it's not risky. I'm not saying it's totally safe, but it's the risk versus the reward. The reward is everything gets to go back to normal. No more fucking lockdown. The risk is this thing could be fucked and we may all die. It is what it is, though. I say if you're not willing to hop on the risk train, you shouldn't get the fucking reward. So if you're not willing to take the vaccine, tough biz. You're stuck in where the rest of us were. You weren't willing to take the risk, you don't get the reward. But for the people that did take the risk, the reward could be great. But the risk could also come right back to bite us in the ass. You never know. That's why I love.
And I like the risk reward breakdown. I think that's really good.
Mm.
Yep, I've heard a bunch of people that are much older than me that have had success in business that have talked about this thing because they understand it well, and it really is how everything boils down in this world if you really look at it. Everything you're choosing to do, it's like there's this weird argument for, and it's kind of against the idea of rape culture, but like it's not. Basically, they're saying that if you choose to go out drinking where there's a bunch of people you don't know and you get assaulted, you did choose to put yourself into that situation. You could have chose not to go out or to do something more safe. You did accept some risk. Now, should that terrible thing have happened to you? No. But if you put yourself in high risk situations, it's like I should be less surprised if I get mugged walking down a dark alleyway at 2 a.m. than if I didn't do that and decided to walk on a well-lit street, right? Like you can choose different things in your life that may be more high risk and make you more susceptible to these things happening.
And I think you can absolutely look at situations and assess the risk and kind of predict what the outcomes are going to be. But I don't think that you can kind of just then turn to victims of any kind of assault or crime and say,
and
well,
that's not what I'm saying. I'm not
you're in a
saying
high risk situation
because they went in that high risk situation. I'm just saying you can protect yourself better by not putting yourself in the higher situations. I'm not saying that like that thing wouldn't have happened to you. Do you get what I'm saying?
I was just saying he's using it as a very visceral. It's a very visceral example of what.
Yeah, no, and I understand it. I agree with it, but I think that it's a hard one to then go and say to the girl that was assaulted at the bar last night, well, you know, you chose to go to the bar.
No, of
and,
course.
and it's like, yeah, well, so did, you know, 50 or 100 other girls, and you know, they're all fine.
Yes, that's
Of
also
course.
very true.
But you could take this
like,
example
I don't
completely
know.
differently and go, you decided to get in a car and just drive somewhere, right? And you assume the risk of potentially getting in an accident the second you stepped in the car.
Yeah.
Right? Same idea.
Well, it's the same. And like,
Yeah.
you could step in an Uber and the driver could kidnap you, and no one would really hear anything about it. And you're assuming the risk of getting in that shared ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%. Ubers are a whole different thing, man. I still, every time I'm in an Uber, man, I think, holy fuck, we're putting too much trust in people. I'm trusting
Oh, man.
the random dude.
Have you ever been?
I'm not even. Sorry, go.
Have you ever been in an Uber with the same driver?
Like multiple times?
Multiple times?
Yeah. Like, have you ever gotten the same driver multiple times?
Once in Florida. And it's only because I called the guy specifically.
Not bad.
So didn't do the ride through Uber. I just gave him cash.
That's
But
so funny. He probably liked that more too.
oh, he loved it, man. We're like, fuck the Uber app, bro. You're getting all your money. I'm getting all mine. I'm saving money. Let's go.
That's awesome.
But no, I've never gotten the same Uber driver twice.
I had a repeat Uber driver. I was in it. I was so drunk when I was in it. I didn't even know it was the same guy until I pulled into my driveway, and I was like, "Oh damn, you have the same underglow as my last Uber driver." And I'm like, "Oh damn, you were my last Uber driver."
Oh my god! How long was it like between those two incidents though?
Oh, it was from downtown to my house outside the city, so like 35-minute drive.
But like,
at least.
How long was it between the first time you had a ride with him and the second time?
Like a week or two.
Oh
like not long at all.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The guy's name was Aziz.
Bro.
What a gem.
Okay, here's how bad I am with Ubers, and here's why I don't think it's safe. All right, one night I hopped in an Uber. I ordered an Uber. The picture of the driver was a white guy. The car was a white Toyota Camry. The car that picked me up was a RAV4, black, and the driver was also black. I just hopped in like it was nobody's business. I was like, "Thanks, dog." He's like, "Isaac." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What the?" And then I started going home, and the guy kind of took a wrong turn, and I started stressing. I'm like, "Okay, I'm alone. I'm in the wrong fucking Uber, and I don't know where I'm going." But my assumption wasn't that, oh shit, this guy might be kidnapping me. It was that, oh shit, I took somebody else's Uber.
Just coincidentally, their name was Isaac.
Other people.
What?
Coincidentally, their name was also Isaac?
I don't know. I was pretty drunk, so I wasn't 100% sure what the question was. Whatever name he said, I was going to say yes to, regardless if it was Isaac, but I'm pretty sure it was Isaac.
That's awesome.
You guys ever had Uber drivers that just like don't want to listen to your directions and only want to follow their GPS on their phone?
I've been in an Uber twice.
Yes.
Both times I've been drunk, and I didn't call them.
Oh, it's frustrating, man. Sometimes you try to talk to your Uber driver and he's just like, "No, I'm just gonna follow the road. This is the directions I'm given." And I'm like, "You can go this way. It's a shortcut." And he's like, "Nah."
Just nah. He doesn't want to have it. Have you ever been mistaken as an Uber driver though?
No.
I was driving.
I've never had someone climb in the back of my car.
I was driving downtown one day, coming home from a friend's place, and I'm driving down this down near one of the university streets, and and I had my phone up on the mount so I get the directions home because I'd never driven that part of the city very much. And these guys just started crowding around my car on the street, thinking I was their Uber driver. And I just kind of kept going. They're like, "What the fuck's happening?" And I could hear them, right? Because it was summer, so I had my window rolled down at a crack. But I could hear them like, "What the fuck? That's our Uber." I'm like, "Oh no, it's not. I'm just gonna keep going. Bye, guys." It was so sketchy though, because it didn't click with me at first until they said it. So I just thought these guys were just gonna try and take my car.
They're swarming your car.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is the
They'll
end.
pick it up.
This is I'm done. I'm over.
The cartel was robbing them.
Yep.
You guys ever seen that? You guys ever seen like mobs like literally just like pick up vehicles?
Yeah, we planned on doing it for one of my friend's birthdays. We were gonna pick up her car out of her driveway and put it in the middle of a field.
That would be funny.
That seems like a lofty plan with no car keys.
Yeah, but it was only a
Just
Fiat
pick up a
500.
car.
It's no big deal.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
you
a
could probably
jaywalking
do that
thing.
with a Fiat.
That's what I was saying. It was
One
gonna
of
be
my buddies
hilarious.
started to flip a car, like by himself, and he got pretty damn
By
close. I'm gonna be
himself?
honest with you.
Whose
Yeah,
car
it was
and why?
jaywalking, and he's
What kind of
it was
car
this
was it?
guy I
Yeah.
used to work with. His name was David. It was a Volkswagen Bug with "Nerd on Site" painted on the side.
Oh my god.
With what?
And, Jaywalk decided it had a company name called Nerds on Site painted on the side. And he just decided, I think we can flip it. Gave it a good, what I would call a good college try, but didn't quite get there.
How far did he
Not
get
quite.
it?
Did he get
he-
it off the ground a little bit?
Oh yeah, no, like he had like two wheels, like he was close. What he was doing is he'd start by pushing and getting the suspension really going. Like he'd be pushing like this, and then once the car would kind of start to roll a little bit, he'd get under and try and couldn't quite get the part.
Just
What would
trying
have
to
happened
flip.
if he had actually flipped it?
Well, it would have been a tough sell because we were in a parking lot. I'm not sure how we would have got it flipped. Actually, I think it'd be pretty easy to flip a car back. Once you got it kind of on its side, I feel like they're designed to kind of. You ever seen a Tesla? If you roll a Tesla sideways, it just rolls back. It's like those
Really?
those like football things that you hit and they just pop back up.
Yeah.
It's like one of those.
It's like Google, do a barrel roll. Tesla, do a barrel roll.
Exactly.
But like, wouldn't it
Well,
be
also,
sketch if it
Tesla
rolled
can-
back onto you? Like if it was a Tesla, like how fast is it flinging back?
No. Like the idea is they run like safety tests, right? And one of the big things for especially those SUVs is if you crank them like this,
Mhm.
how many flips do they do? And do they land upright or do they sit upside down? Because upside down
Right.
really fucking sucks. All the fluid starts running out of the car. I don't know if you ever tried to get out of a seatbelt while upside down. I don't know. I've done it in a 5-point harness in a seatbelt.
Sounds
Never
difficult.
rolled a car. But I think it'd be challenging. So what a Tesla does is if you try and crank it,
Mm.
it'll tip onto its side. But since all the batteries are in the base, it just drops
Okay.
back.
It's from. Oh, not bad. Okay.
That's cool.
Like a safety feature.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how survivable Tesla is long term.
As a company or as a
I
car?
don't
Yeah, no, as both. Because I don't know how good their cars actually are.
Everybody
Beats
who
me.
I know that's ever bought one has said it's the best car they've owned. Like it's the most fun car. The car will like dance. You can set your horn to whatever sound you want. I'd be having like
Yeah.
some porn star mode.
No, I get that. But the other thing with Tesla is it costs, or the emissions aren't really a saving on the electric car anyway, because we're still developing batteries for these cars with fossil fuels. And according to one article that I read a little while ago, developing one Tesla battery is the same as driving a regular car on gasoline for 7 years.
Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.
So, to be really honest, I don't really know. The other problem, and we know this with batteries and having electronics around for the majority of our lives, is that battery life does deteriorate.
Yeah.
And I really don't think that there's going to be any kind of market for used Teslas, which is something that the car industry kind of relies on at large.
Mhm. I think we
Yeah,
should
but
just
I
recreate
think-
the Ford Pinto with hydrogen-powered cars and just let things explode. It'll make people safer drivers.
They've started doing that. There's Toyotas you can buy now that are hydrogen powered.
Yeah,
I
it's
want a
great.
hydrogen powered car. It's like $7 to fill a fucking tank. I'd be whipping that beast.
Yeah, until you fucking crash it and it engulfs you in a ball of flames.
Well, yeah, that's not
Hindenburg.
great, but like,
Order humanity. That's what I'd be yelling. If I was driving a hydrogen car and it went up, just
Wasn't the Pinto just in it, like the gas tank was just in the wrong spot?
It was in the fucking. Oh, if I remember this correctly, it was in the back of the car. So whenever you got rear-ended, it just fucking exploded.
Yeah, it was when you got rear-ended. That's when you exploded.
Yeah. Imagine just having a
like
hydrogen-powered Pinto.
that'd be epic.
Perfect.
They all
man.
look like the
Rocket propelled that
Hindenburg
bitch.
No.
constantly.
There's this
No need
video
for a
on YouTube
market
of
for
some guy that
NOS
took-
anymore.
Man,
No, bro. There's this guy.
no
that
need
took
for
a whole-
NASA anymore. We got spaceships coming off of cars.
they put a
Shit, I'm gonna
rocket
look like the
thruster in the back of
Jetsons.
a van.
You're gonna
There's
put a
this
what?
video on YouTube, and I wish we could pull it up. It's like 30 seconds long. It's this guy took a Dodge Grand Caravan and put a rocket thruster in like the back. So
Of
it's like
course.
fully jet fuel powered car, and it does like I think 0 to like 400 in like 0.2 of a second or some shit like that. Like it's fucked how fast this rocket car goes.
That sounds amazing.
That's ridiculous.
Also, the fact that it's also
And they're
a
talking
soccer
about-
monster.
Share on here, can't you?
Yeah, it's pretty laggy.
Yeah, you can, but it's pretty laggy. We tried that for the Who I Smoke music video, and
Yeah. It didn't make the cut.
Didn't
Put it
work
that way.
That's fair. That's fair.
yeah, we gotta get once I'm done school here, we're getting a fucking studio going for this bitch. You know what I'm saying?
You got to get down here though.
Set up a studio somewhere. Yeah, well,
It's cheaper
doesn't
down
look like
here.
I'm gonna be able to fucking. To be honest, I don't think I'm gonna be able to live down here. So I'm probably coming to yo ends.
Yo, bet. I'll have a spot for you. Don't worry.
Man, I don't know if I don't know if anybody in the next like 3 to 5 years realistically is going to be able to buy a house. Like,
I don't agree with that. I think eventually the market will fix itself. I mean,
Yeah,
I hope so.
crash.
they're already working on it because I
Yeah,
know they're
housing
not
market-
giving out loans as easily right now because they're finding people are spending too much money on houses right now, and then they don't think they're going to be able to pay their loans back when
We're doing
interest rates come
2008
back.
no,
all
yeah,
over again,
it's all a bubble again, man.
Mm.
Yeah, it's 2008, right all over again. We're gonna have a huge
Yeah,
market
it's-
crash.
yeah.
Houses are gonna get super cheap.
Yeah, and I'm gonna buy it.
I hope so.
That's what
I'm
I'm
going
saying.
I just don't know
subprime.
what the timeline looks like.
Yeah, who knows? Oh well, it gives me some time to bank some more money. It's fine.
True, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
Just
then
make
you
sure
can hit
walk
that
around the
buy
place.
your first house achievement, and life would be good.
Yeah. Buy your first house achievement, but then you got you know,
The mortgage.
first
Yeah.
bill.
Yeah.
That's the next achievement.
Oof. That's a rough one.
Yeah,
yeah.
thank God you don't have kids, man. Imagine just having to pay a bill just for your kids. That'd be terrible.
Oh,
I think people
imagine
should
just
have to have
having
a license
kid,
to
man.
have a
like
kid.
just having that thing around constantly.
Yeah, like right now too, especially university living. Imagine just having a kid floating around a university house.
That would suck.
It would be.
Like,
It would absolutely
be-
just. Oh, it would fuck up the dynamic so much.
but I think you'd pull like none other.
Maybe.
I feel like having a kid's a huge sell as a dude. I feel like it would work.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
I feel like no.
I guess it depends what you're looking
don't
know.
for.
I
Bro,
feel like
I was
most people aren't. Especially most
I was
people
on-
our age aren't really looking for people that already have kids.
No, and it makes me
No,
think you're
here.
pretty irresponsible.
Yeah. Mm.
I don't know, because I was on Tinder and Timmins recently,
Dear
and most
God.
of the girls are like 19 and have like 1 to 2 kids. Like it's pretty hard to find one without a kid, to be honest.
Yeah, but
So
that's not a
I just don't think it's
catch.
common here.
Mm.
I don't know. I was lighting it up on Timmins Tinder. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, you're a
I am
foreigner
the
to
Timmins
them.
Tinder god. Oh yeah, I'm a foreigner. I also have no kids.
You're not one of the 5 guys that have gotten
Prime
pregnant already.
Yeah.
Prime and right
Like-
for 2 more.
That's hilarious.
I can't even imagine that too. I'm gonna have freaking ginger kids. So I'm going for black kids. I have like a mixed kids that are like, if I have
You have a
like
kid like
a
Logic.
light skinned girl, she'll probably have ginger hair, which would be pretty fucking epic. I'm just saying.
Why do you say?
You ever seen a red haired light skin?
Why would you say red hair? You're not a ginger.
Red hair is genetic that skips one generation
Okay.
and carried on your X chromosome. I'm a male, so I have one X and one Y to give. If I have a girl, she takes an X from me, she takes an X from her mom. If I'm a
Right.
boy, she takes a Y from me, or he takes the Y from me and then the X from his mom.
Right.
So red hair is carried on the X chromosome and skips a generation. My
But it's also
mom has red
recessive.
hair.
You have to keep in mind.
Yes. I forgot about
So
that. But
only if you already get with a ginger black lady will that happen. Because you both have to
Wait,
have
really?
the ginger gene, or else the kid will take the dominant black or brown hair gene.
Fuck. Damn it.
Why do you want a ginger so bad?
It's still possible. I just think that you're gonna have to find a ginger with
I have to get
melanin
with
in their skin if
redhead.
you want what you want.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Can't have a ginger light
I
skin.
think.
That's basically what you're
And
telling
like,
me.
to be really honest, that's me going off of my memory from high school biology class, but I'm pretty sure that red hair is recessive.
Yeah, I don't know. I slipped through a
Trent,
lot of
where do
that
you think
class.
I'm going with this?
Huh?
By the way, I did. Okay, this is gonna sound terrible. I did a grade 10 biology test the other day.
Oh dear God.
Grade 10 academic biology. I did it online for some kid I used to work with. He paid me $40 to take his bio test for him, and I got a 96.
Oh, not bad.
Let's
That's
go.
fucking good, man.
No studying, no nothing. Just me, Google, and an online test. And this fucking bro, this kid, I can't even tell you. I thought I got like a 30. Like he's like, yeah, but I'm getting like 22. So like, if you get above a 50, I'll be happy. I got like a 96. He's like stressing. He's like, bro, she's never gonna believe I did this. She's never gonna believe I did this.
Did he
Bro,
tip
that
you at
kid
least for getting a
cracked me up.
96? Like, you should get more than 40. That's a good service at
That
that
is
point.
hilarious.
Bro, it only took me 45 minutes. Like, way worth the $40. Are you fucked?
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Man,
Start your own little essay mill.
Stupid.
I have a kid
dishonest, but holy
that'll
fuck.
buy one from you. One of the guys I work with, a little Brazilian guy named Luis, Gem, hilarious kid. But he had to write this essay, so he originally didn't read the book, so he got another essay from a friend of his from another school, right, and handed it in. And his teacher goes, "Oh, there's no thesis statement in this. You got to write me a thesis statement and a whole new essay." Right? So he's like, "Ah, shit." So the kid has now read the back of the book, the little synopsis, and is completely BSing his entire essay, saying that there is a theme of the character growing as a person throughout the novel.
What?
As a general
So
statement.
basically, how every story is written.
Yes, exactly. He's like, it
There's
should
character
work.
development through the plot of the story.
Yes, he's like, this should work. But this is not like the only like crazy
A+.
little thing that he's come up with. So he was talking about trying
here's
to
my
buy a
question,
new
though.
car recently, right? And he knows
But how lazy is this kid?
he just really doesn't like the book.
But did nobody like teach him that you can go on the internet and find like a chapter by chapter summary of the
So
book? Like,
apparently this book
take you
wasn't on
20 minutes to
SparkNotes.
read.
Just apparently. I didn't look.
Okay, well, don't use SparkNotes. There's like 12 others.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
True,
let's
there
be
are.
honest. Like, he's not the brightest, but he's a really good kid, really funny child. But he's talking about buying a car, and then we were talking to him about all like the little things you have to buy when you buy a car, like your license plate sticker and all that. And he goes, "Oh, I was just
I need to
planning."
renew those.
He was like, "I'm just planning on yoinking my sticker off of someone else's car." He's gonna go to a Walmart parking lot with like an X-Acto knife and just scrape it off and stick it on his thing. But we had to remind him that he has to pick the right color one because they're related to the month you're born.
Yeah, and also too, your car still has to be registered with the damn government. Like that's what the sticker is for.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
When you get pulled over,
I have to
great, you have a
back pay my
fucking sticker,
registration.
well, I
but you,
mean,
you
My
need to have your
registration's
car
been
registered.
expired since November.
have fun on the drive home.
Bro, mine's
Have
been
fun on your
expired since
2-day
last
drive
April.
home.
Right.
It's entertaining working with some of like these high school kids still because they always have crazy schemes going on. And like
Like what?
Yeah, but like I don't know. When I was in high school, we used to shoot at each other with Roman candles. So like, we once
I
bought
mean,
these
yeah,
things
it
with
is kind
taller
of just
Roman
different.
candles, and they did like a corkscrew and whistled, and then did a bang at the end. And oh my god, those things are not fun to get shot at you. With a Roman candle, it goes straight and makes no noise. You can pretty much predict where it's gonna land. With the ones that go, you have no fucking clue where that thing's gonna land. And then when it comes beside you for the miss, the bang is like I've got like hearing damage from that shit, man.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I feel like every high
like-
school kid had to have at least done one stupid thing, you know what I mean? At least.
Oh, at some point.
Bare minimum.
Bro, there's so much dumb shit you get away with in high school.
Kind of a
But
miracle.
then
to
you
be
get to
You can get away with dumb
university
shit all
and
the time.
yeah, I know. You kind of got to become a responsible member of society, though. I'm starting to realize as you get older. But like, I don't know.
Well, you're
You can still
supposed
push it
to.
on some things.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I got in a fight with an anti-masker at Tim's the other day. That was on
Oh,
Saturday.
I should tell you guys about this. Like, so this morning, I'm going over to pick up my car from one of my buddy's places. Like, we were over at his house drinking last night.
Mhm.
Go to pick up my car, and we walk the dog over there. So I'm just sitting with the dog on the front steps, and Zoe goes inside to like talk to the people inside for a minute. And while I'm sitting on the step with the dog, the lady across the street is sitting on her porch and just starts yelling at me like, hey, how many people live in that house? Like, you guys don't all live there. And I was like, well, actually, we do. And there's 5 of us in here. And it's none of your business.
Hmm.
And she comes off her balcony, comes down to like the end of her driveway, and is like, I know people that have died from COVID. You guys aren't allowed to do this. I know you don't all live there. I'm telling you this as a courtesy so I don't have to call the police. And I was just like, you have nothing to do with this. Like, I told you we all live here. Go away.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, you guys are St. FX students, aren't you? Like, I'm a teacher there and I can get you all suspended.
I don't think they can. I'm pretty sure
Yeah, we
what
had
you
cops
do
say that to us one
outside
night. We're like,
of school cannot be affected in your school.
no, that's even
I
in
think
high
that's-
school, man. Like you can go out
It's
in high
entirely
school
true,
and
but, like-
rob a bank during lunch. Nobody would give a fuck.
Mm. It's just
Let's
like
be honest. Like you could literally go out and rob a goddamn bank. As long as nobody at school found out about it, you're good. Like the university, I don't think can really like. I've heard of students getting punished, but that's in residence. Like
that's
I don't know,
different.
our
That's still,
residence
that's still
had a huge
university
outbreak
property.
and people got punished. But bro, they got lucky, man. They got off with $120 fine. If they had a 50-person party in an on-campus house. If I did that, I would have had a $10,000 fine,
Mhm.
along with everybody that was there. All 50 people would have got a $750 fine. Like, are you? I was mad, man, when I saw that. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me, man.
Mhm.
But like, no, I
Yeah,
don't think
no,
that should
the
affect
issue-
your university.
No. I was just dumbfounded by this lady's entitlement to just ask about my living situation
Mhm.
and how she felt that she could just intrude on my life.
I feel like people just
Yeah.
need to learn to stay in their own lane and worry about themselves more than other people. If you can just take
That's
care of
what I mean,
yourself,
and,
like
like-
you're fine.
And people, especially, man, I know it's an issue in like, well, Zoe's been telling me it's an issue in Calgary that like neighbors are just turning on each other for like everything. And they see like the smallest thing that's wrong in your house and they're going to be calling bylaw.
You know,
Yeah.
what happens when these lockdown measures aren't a thing? Your neighbor gonna try and be all friendly again?
I'm going around one night with my foot and I'm just kicking in mirrors. That's my new thing. I had a guy almost run me down with his car the other day. So I'm going home. I'm longboarding home from my house to my house from a Circle K, right? I'm ripping along, and some guy pulls in a lot in front of me. I like run into the side of his car because I couldn't stop in fucking time. And he then proceeds to turn to me and give me the double fingers. He's just like, and I'm like, okay, asshole, you almost ran me over. I was trying to be nice about this, but since you want to be a fucking dick, I walked around to the passenger side of his car. I took his mirror, I bent it the wrong way, and then I just longboarded away. And I went, haha, you bastard, you're going to get out on the road now. And it's not even like it's the driver's side. I've had somebody do it to me on my driver's side, and you just kind of reach your hand up.
Oh, yeah, you can just
out.
crank it back. That's really annoying to do on the passenger side.
But when it's on the passenger side,
you just can't see. Like, that's dangerous, but...
you gotta hop out of the vehicle, walk all the way around like a dumbass.
All the way around.
Let's be honest, though. It's only dangerous if you're using the mirrors, but clearly this guy had no regard for anyone's safety as he was driving. So, like, he's probably not even using the mirror to begin with.
No, that was the best part, too, is he sped off. Like he had to make, like, a right turn onto a busy street. He just hit the right and sped off like nothing. I'm like, yo, you don't have a working mirror, bro. Like, what are you doing? But, yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
I was mad. That was one of those where I was just like, fuck it, society. We're being a menace today.
Yeah. But it's just one of the, like, to go back to what T was saying, though, it's like, I don't understand why people have the need to really involve themselves in other people's stuff. Like, I get it, you know, they're trying to be helpful, whatever, try and keep everyone safe. But, like, at the same time, keep yourself safe. Let everyone, you know, just run their course. Because if they're going to get sick, they're going to get sick regardless whether you say something or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I also think saying that people in your life have died from COVID is like, yeah, that's cool. People have died from wars. People have died of AIDS. People have died of Ebola. People have died of millions of other.
People still die every day from natural causes. Like, I don't know. Like, people
die of heart attacks.
You're not necessarily.
Oh my god! You should be drinking a Red Bull. My grandfather had a heart attack. Like, fuck off. Like, you know what I'm saying though? That's like the same logic you're using there. Is like, okay, I know somebody who had a heart attack, so you shouldn't drink stuff with caffeine in it. It's like vegans when they tell you to become vegan.
Yeah. And that's the thing with veganism is there's no way to make it welcoming to people. It's either you do this or you're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what people, and I don't like the fact when somebody tells me they're vegan, I'm like, okay, cool. When they tell me that I need to become a vegan, that's when I start to draw the line.
And you're doing everything wrong by not being vegan. I'm not over here trying to convert
you on how to eat meat. I'm not telling you, oh, you should get your protein, you should eat meat. I'm just saying, great for fucking you, but you've now felt the need to convince me that I should go over to your way. But yeah, fuck that. I'm not about it.
No.
I'm sorry. I like the taste. I like the thing. Some guy was trying to tell me you can't morally justify eating meat. And my moral justification is, why would we be the top animal on the food pyramid? We're at the top because we're the smartest. We weren't designed to be at the top. Why are we at the top? Some fucking thing. This is back to my whole extinction argument. Some other thing should come fuck us up. Might be aliens.
But what is that other thing?
Aliens would be dope.
I don't know. Right now, there's nothing because we're winning. We're at the top of the hierarchy. But
well, like, what if that other thing is the natural world that decides that actually the nature is bigger and stronger than we are, and it has proven that it can eradicate entire populations because it's happy.
Good for nature. My ego just got smaller.
Good for nature.
But right now, my ego is the size of the planet.
Take us down a peg.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like it's going to happen, and we will have cities of rubble, and like there will be a disgusting new world that comes out in the next 20, 30 years if we don't change the pace of the industrialization that we're doing. And if we don't try to make things at least somewhat sustainable.
What if Wall-E was just a prophecy, though?
And I don't think it's really a prophecy, but I think it's very much the direction that we're heading in. But
I mean,
there's evidence to be to show, because there's also evidence to show that in Chernobyl, like in that abandoned city in the Ukraine that is uninhabitable because of the nuclear reactor that exploded, is now literally teeming with wildlife. There is an entirely new ecosystem that lives there because humans haven't been there to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that stems from everything from like microorganisms to plants to
Do you
animals
think we're gonna get
and all of those.
like or not Jurassic Park, like a Jumanji style thing though, where like we're gonna have like mutant animals and plants that are trying to murder us?
I don't think it'll be like that. I think it'll be natural disasters that actually start to become so bad that we can't deal with
No,
them.
I'm just saying like out of Chernobyl.
Yeah,
We're just gonna have like
that would be
nuclear
kind of
powered
fucked if we just had like mutant shit.
powered plants. Like that'd be awesome.
Yeah, yeah. But no, like even
I
with
don't know.
the massive human impact, there is recovery, but we kind of have to do a little bit more for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like even the way that we like farm fish and farm animals now, like there are ways that we can do it a lot better, but we don't because it's cheaper to just eat whatever, waste shit.
Yeah, it is true. I don't know though. That's the problem, right? The monetary thing. You'll never, unless you change a lot of opinions of a lot of different leaders, you're gonna have run into issues with this. Because you got to get
Oh, I
everybody's
completely
control
agree.
of the cost
I don't think
saving
it's I don't think
to
it's
the
a
military.
I don't think it's a one and done change at all, but I think that there are things that can happen progressively.
You know,
Yeah, I think
I also think
eventually,
at some point we also just have to kind of admit that we screwed this one up and might have to hit the hard reset.
yeah.
Like, what's that look like? Do we have we have another mass extinction and humans are no longer the dominant life force on Earth?
If we weren't the dominant life
Yeah.
force, I think it'd be almost better off. I'm tired of some of these
Gotta get
crowds
the
of
dinosaurs
idiots.
back.
Survival of the
Well, like
fittest.
yeah,
Natural
yeah,
selection
it is
at its
survival of the
finest.
fittest.
Come on. There's some stupid
It is
people
really
out
baffling because like we as people have proven in our history that we're able to survive and thrive on our own and in tandem with the land, and we've shifted into entirely an economy where, like we've said earlier, a very small percentage of the people have the majority of the control in any given environment.
Imagine going back to a
Yeah.
time where your economy was the thing you grew in your backyard. And you
Exactly,
traded
and
that
I'm
for
saying
something.
like that, like if we did that, and not saying that that's ever going to happen, but if more people were to adopt that mentality, the world would essentially heal itself and we wouldn't be having this massive global warming, we're ruining the planet debate, because we would be completely sufficient and regenerative with the land.
I think the issue we
Yes.
have isn't necessarily that we're destroying the land because we mean to. It's that we've created all these like a job that we have is really just some construction that we've made to keep ourselves busy. If we decided we all just wanted to make our own farms and stuff again, then that would keep us busy all day. And we wouldn't have to have these jobs in the economy. We could just, dissolve it and we could all just live off the land again and, have our own little things to ourselves and, create, more meaningful relationships between people and friends and family. And then
Yeah.
we get like the trading circles going again.
And there very much are still places that happens. And if you look at like Mennonite or Hutterite communities, like that is essentially what they're doing. But the drawback with that is that they don't have access to the same resources as we that live in the modern world do. And that's always going to be the dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like we could go back to the living off the land thing, but then a lot of people can see that as much higher risk because they don't know how to do that, and also much lower reward because they don't get access to the same stuff that they're already used to.
Is it like the reward
Yeah.
not high enough that you get to survive though? Is that not enough for people
Yeah,
these days?
But it's not the
And
thing.
that's the
Is it that
problem.
we get to survive? Or like if it became, let me tell you, there's a whole lot of people that
people
when we
take
get an
survival for
apocalypse now
granted.
scenario, nobody's going to survive. And that's kind of
No.
why I'm excited for the next apocalypse, because I think I will survive. I'm one of the few that I think can make it through this dumb shit.
What kind of apocalypse do you think we're gonna have, Isaac?
Oh, I don't care. Zombie, send some aliens down. I don't really give a fuck. I'm geared up and ready for a war.
I bet. So like,
I-
go ahead, T. Go ahead.
Like we're gonna need
I feel like
something
what's most-
drastic to shift everything.
Well, I think what's most likely, and like this might not happen, but I think what is most likely is that we have another global flood. Like we literally have another Noah's Ark situation, but we do it to ourselves with the icebergs. And like it's not only that, but I do think that there is enough frozen material on Earth to cover the Earth, and that year by year that goes away.
So we go One Piece style or Great Pirate Era.
You ever seen the old show from the 80s, Sequest DSV, or heard of it?
What?
I feel like I've heard of it, but I have not
Basically,
seen
they
it.
created underwater colonies, and the whole planet survived underwater. Now we could end up being like that.
And
We could
if
be
we
like
could do that,
we could be like the Gungans from fucking Star Wars. Good old Jar Jar
Yeah.
Binks.
and like if we could do that, that would be something cool for sure. But like I do think that like what's gonna be the next apocalypse is something that isn't done by humans but was entirely caused by them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But and keep in mind too, like I'm also a fairly religious person, and I believe in a higher power,
Mhm.
and I think that like there is a moment where I feel like even if you want to say it's God or whatever it is, can decide what, like humans are kind of taking advantage right now,
Mhm.
and like I'm gonna come down and rectify some shit.
Sounds entertaining
Yeah.
enough to me, really. My point here
I
is,
don't know. I'm much
Isaac,
more than-
if you survived the next apocalypse, would you take that as an opportunity to like create yourself as like a world leader?
Oh, 100%. Become a dictator.
Mm-hmm.
I want
Yeah.
to become a dictator before the apocalypse.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't think you could
What?
just do that. I think I think once everybody's down in the dumps, you've got to really be the one to show that you can make the world fruitful for others in order to get a following.
Nah, I don't
You
know.
You just gotta motivate others.
You only have to
kidding me?
show them that at
Well,
the
that's
beginning.
exactly like you've got to
I
motivate
don't
them, but
need to be the
also like
smartest.
get them on your side.
I gotta be the best at delegating. Are you kidding me? You spend more than 24 hours with me, you're gonna like me eventually. Or you're gonna brutally hate me, but we just sacrifice them.
You
So
know,
what, we just like exile those people?
yeah, we're basically
Yeah,
gonna
pretty much.
repurpose Australia to what it was originally for. It's now our
That's what
prison camp.
Australia was for.
Actually ironic,
Exile
man.
people?
What?
The whole country based off people that were exiled? That's awesome.
They used to send the like criminals from like England and whatnot down to Australia as like a criminal colony.
no
That's
wonder
actually
it's so
that's actually ironic, because one girl that I go to school with here, like one of my good friends, was kidnapped by her father as a child, and he now is not allowed in Canada and lives in Australia.
Well, that took a very dark turn, but yes.
Wait, what? His dad or he?
Oh,
was
it
in
was-
Australia.
You were so nonchalant about
Her
it
dad
too.
lives in Australia.
You're like, yeah, I just got
Because
kidnapped.
like it's a big thing, but like it was a big scene, and like the only reason I talk about it is because there's a book about it. Like her mom wrote a book, because her mom went over to, she got kidnapped and taken to, I forget where it was.
Now here's my
Lebanon.
question. My question is how do you kidnap your own child?
Well, so here's the thing.
I can answer this.
Yeah, go.
The courts get to deem which parent they think is the most fit. So, for example, if I have a kid, I have a wife, they think she's more fit to raise that kid, she can give her, or the court can give her sole custody of that child. So even though that child's biologically mine, I don't have any rights to that kid. That kid is I need to pay for it like it's mine, but I don't get any rights to that kid. So a lot of the time, if you're neglectful, you've had serious mental illness issues, you've had you don't have a stable income, you've been in and out of jail, you use drugs, you won't get full custody of your kids or even custody at all. So if I have no custody to the kid, if the wife or my wife, for example, has full custody and I go, yeah, fuck that bitch, I'm taking this kid, and I just take the kid and go somewhere else, that's kidnapping. That kid wasn't mine. Like, even though it is my blood, it's not my right. I don't have rights to that kid.
Exactly.
That's how you
And that's kind of
kidnap your own
exactly
kid.
what happened. And like unfortunately, like the father in the situation that I'm talking about came from a lot of corruption and a lot of money, so was able to literally just up and go with the kids. But then the mom went on kind of like a rescue mission, ended up finding them, getting them back, and then wrote a whole story about it. So all good in the end, but the father is not allowed to enter North America, and because of that resides in Australia.
Well, he found somewhere to go, I guess. But,
Well, it's ironic that it's become reputable as a place for criminals, because truthfully that is where they kind of go.
Well, that's what it was founded on, right? But I guess my point being though is like Isaac would, if he like took something over, would he rename it? Would it become his? What's your plan as a dictator though? Like, what's your end goal?
Well, okay. The thing with being a dictator is a little challenging because you got to start by finding a country that nobody really gives a fuck about. That's step one. All right. If I was going to become the dictator of, like, let's say, I don't know, what's a good country? You just got to pick somewhere like an African country
Like
that doesn't have a lot of
Gambia.
money. No, I go to like Liberia, man. Liberia's had a bunch of civil wars. They got warlords. It's technically the poorest country in the world. All right. If I had $1 million, I could get probably an army of a good couple thousand soldiers. That country doesn't have a very stable government to begin with. So using my 1,000 soldiers, I would then take over. At this point, I'm running the show. So then you gotta start building it like it's a society. You gotta start giving people a reason to believe in you. So you start with nice dictator style. You give everybody some money. You figure out some systems to get some food in the country, kind of like China did. You figure out how to get rid of the famine. You figure out how to get rid of the crime. You get a police going. You get all that shit going. And then as you get more power, there's no democracy. There never has been. I've just been the leader. I was the one who took over. I fixed all this shit. So people are going to start to like you. And that's when you have full dictator mode.
But you have to keep in mind there's a peaceful side, and like there is a system of government that essentially works in the way that you just described, minus the becoming a cruel dictator part at the end. And you could easily just be a very well respected king and operate a very successful monarchy.
Yeah, but we have a thing against hierarchies. So he'd have to be like,
I'm not big on the monarchy. Because, like, I don't like the idea that you should just be bored in. I want the next dictator to take over by fucking me up. I'm gonna be mad if I had to go.
Well, like, you're never gonna have
army and then take over a country.
Like, you're never gonna have peace in any country if that is how the election system
but anarchy
works.
sounds like a good time every once in a while. You know what I mean?
No. You just be ruthless.
Like, overthrow by force to be the next one in charge.
Yeah, but like we set it up like a contest. Like as I start to get old, it's like the assassinate the dictator.
You're gonna have like a gladiator. You're gonna create your own coliseum and have like gladiator battles over the next dictatorship.
No. We do it Fortnite style, right in Baghdad.
Last one standing wins.
I hold up in the castle. Whoever can make the castle fall and get rid of me.
Or what? So you just like take all your candidates? No, you just like everybody that wants to sign up to be supposed dictator gets entered into the draw, and then they just go Hunger Games style, and whoever comes out is the ruler.
Exactly, is the next ruler.
But it's
next ruler of Liberia.
It's a completely voluntary ballot.
Yeah.
Well,
you get to volunteer for your chance to become the next dictator.
Sure. You're not just gonna throw people that don't want to be in
gladiator style.
Dictator.
You guys have got a good idea here. Wait. Okay, here's what we do. We do Hunger Games for all the contestants, and then the last one standing battles me for the new dictator spot.
In the gladiator arena.
That means I'm still in the gladiator arena. At that point, if I'm still strong enough to beat the highest competitor for next at the crown,
and the dictatorship just keeps going.
Then I should still be ruling for another 20 years. Every 20 years.
No, how long are the terms? The terms can't be 20 years.
There's no way there's
too long.
20 years. This is a dictatorship,
I
not a
think
democracy.
10.
We're not
10's
doing it.
probably good.
No, I'm not doing a gladiator battle every 10 fucking years,
Yeah,
man.
but
I
what
gotta
happens
rule
if
this
you
country.
die out of old age? Because you take one at 50 and next time you're at 70.
Yeah, and
you die at 68.
you're gonna have to do a gladiator battle in your 80s, like
Yo, that'd be dope
Okay,
as
fine,
shit.
fine. You make a minimum age of under 30, you register, and then you can run the country at that point for 30 years after, and then
No,
every
50.
5 you have to host
once
your own
you're
gladiator
80.
battle.
Yeah, you give it up when you're 80 because at that point it's like, I've run my course anyways. I like this.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Biden running the country.
Yeah.
You're just too old, you're senile. You're there like,
like what am I doing here
but you
again?
still do
what the fuck is
you still do the gladiator battle at the end of your 80 year.
Yeah, you go out in a blaze of glory.
And then, like,
Yeah,
if
definitely.
you win the gladiator battle when you're 80, you get dictatorship until you die.
I like it.
And then the next one is just,
Yeah, I like
and then the next one is just whoever wins the contestant battle.
I like it.
Yeah. And the best part is you could become such a wealthy country by televising the whole thing.
Imagine.
Like people would get fired up and be like,
People
the
would
Olympics.
watch it, man.
Oh,
You just
we
gotta
did a
hire
dictator
Dana
battle,
White to
let's
do your
go.
fucking to do your advertising, and the thing's
People
gonna be
would fucking
huge.
watch that. That would be
Dana
scary.
White, man.
but
We're
people
getting
would
Joe
actually
Rogan on the
tune in.
commentary. Oh, and he chops the arm off. Oh! You're just going crazy up in the sound booth. He's losing an arm. He's still going. He's got one arm. Oh, there goes the other one. Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Dude, that'd be amazing. We just described the Hunger Games essentially, though. Because didn't they televise the Hunger Games?
Basically, but it's a. Well, yeah, yeah. That is literally the Hunger Games.
Except for we have a
The
gladiator
Hunger
battle
Games,
at the
you get to
end.
become
But we
the
wouldn't have
ruler.
districts.
No, this is a
Like
No,
we wouldn't
sign
have
stuff
like
up.
separated stages in society where people live at increasingly, I don't know, increasingly
You become
impoverished.
such a strong fucking
communities as-
country, man. You're literally taking in every scenario, every 5 years, you're taking everybody who wants to become like the next dictator. Has got to be some kind of warrior, man. If you're gonna go fight with 2,000 other people that also want to become the next dictator, you gotta fucking.
What if we made this like the Olympics?
really-
What if each country just set
I feel
sent like
for
their
some
top
reason,
their top contestant?
Oh, I think that should be a whole different game. I think we should do the World Olympics, but like of like Fortnite Battle Royale style. Put together teams of 3 from each country that have the top like battle skills. Give them any like throw weapons in the middle, and then you just go. You just have these fucking. We already got them, man. Throw some of the Navy, couple Navy SEALs in there. Throw a couple fucking special ops from each country, and just see who's the top dog.
I like this idea, especially because
Holy
you could
crap.
implement it as a dictator. This just could just be your sport. It's like once every
you
like
just come up
3
with a new
years,
sport.
hunting man for
It's just
sport.
called.
Like I gotta
Yeah.
call up Kim and tell him this is how he's got to run the
It's
country.
just called Hunt.
It'd be
Maybe
like
we go over a previous dictatorship.
like,
how hard do you think it'd be? It would be to overthrow the North Korean regime.
wait. Do you guys remember that
First you
show?
have to get into North Korea.
Do you remember that show
Yeah.
back in the day? And there was the guy that tracked people around on a horse. It was like
Man Track.
Oh, Man Track.
yeah, you could basically create
Man
your own
Tracker's
deadly
phenomenal.
version of that.
Yeah, I'm much more of a gladiator and kind of the big, like do like a big battle royale in their last man standing, the wars of the current dictator.
I like it.
Okay, we gotta go. We gotta take over North Korea.
Okay, why?
I'm thinking logistics here. Well, because it's already pretty hefty dictatorship. I feel like any other one it would just be too hard to implement. The people are already brainwashed.
Right.
So go in, take over, become the next Kim, become friends with Dennis Rodman.
Imagine this is just an elaborate scheme to become friends with Dennis Rodman. Like,
Dennis Rodman.
The story about Dennis Rodman and Kim Jong-un became friends is so funny. Is Kim Jong-un wanted to be friends with somebody on that Bulls team, so he called up Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's like, fuck that, man. I'm not going to become friends with Kim Jong-un. Then he's like, okay, how about Scottie Pippen? So he called up Pippen. Pippen's like, fuck that shit, bro. I'm not becoming the fucking friends with Kim Jong-un. So then he's like, fuck it, we'll call Dennis Rodman. And Dennis Rodman's like, hell yeah, let's go to North Korea.
I mean, hey,
Unreal.
Why not, right? I feel like Kim Jong Un's not a
That's
bad
right.
friend to have, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely.
I
Like,
don't know. I feel like he'd probably treat the people in his inner circle pretty well, but everybody else kind of gets the dick.
Like if everything went to shit,
Yeah.
at least you got Kim to keep you safe.
What I mean,
Yeah,
he's
you
always
get
got
away with
lots of
fucking
food. Like, look at him.
Like,
Like,
you can get
like
away
his
with
whole
crying.
country's starving, but he's got lots.
Hey, food had to go
Yeah.
somewhere, right?
Exactly.
I liked it back in the
All
Kim
right.
Jong-il days.
Hmm.
I might kind of peace out here. I've got a few things that I gotta get underway. I think,
all
but
good.
thank you guys for having me on the show.
No problem. It was a
Yeah,
pleasure.
no
We'll have to
problem.
have
We're
you back
happy to have you.
sometime. Yeah.
Yeah, man,
anyway.
I'll definitely be down to come back, and hopefully I can get a little bit of a better internet situation going the next time.
All good, all good.
Yeah, I'll
Hey,
probably have a better mic too.
we'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right,
Have a good
perfect.
one.
See you guys. Have a
Peace.
good one. Enjoy
Yeah.
the rest of the podcast.
Our sponsor for the day, as you already know and already saw, is Cookies Glass. For all your glassware needs, go check out cookiesglass.co on Instagram or go to their website, cookiesglass.com. If you can smoke it or you can toke it, Cookies Glass is where you want to get your smokables. All right. What were we talking about? Well, we already went over what I want to do when I become a dictator.
Yeah. I know we've discovered recently that you're ambidextrous, but like not by choice, or maybe by choice, but like I don't know. You got a
I
weird
don't really
situation
know
going
how-
on.
It's called the pain in the ass of my life, okay? Because to be honest, this seems like the greatest thing ever. If you thought about it, it would seem like the greatest idea ever. It is not. It's terrible. I basically, so for those of you who don't know, I'm like ambidextrous, but like weirdly ambidextrous, right? So I would, by the typical definition, I'm left-handed. Like I write with my left hand. If I pick up a pen and write on paper, I write with my left. However, if I throw a baseball, I do that with my right. If I'm eating dinner, I use a fork with my left hand. If I'm eating with chopsticks, however, I use my right hand because that makes no damn sense. Basically, when I do a new task that I've never tried before, I get to pick which hand I want to use. And it's kind of the worst thing ever. Because I don't have a default. Like I've got to like try it with each hand and then like, do you know what I'm saying? I got to try something with each and then pick which one I like best.
Right.
And then I'll just start using it. But I think part of that design, though, I think there's a lot of left-handed people that are like me. Because the world's not designed for you. Let's be honest. The world is designed for right-handed people. So, because most people are. So, like scissors, for example. I can't use a pair of scissors in my fucking left hand, but it's just because like I never learned how to use scissors with my left hand. I just use them with my right because they're designed for your right hand. You know what I'm saying?
Are they though? How is that?
Yeah, you can buy left-handed scissors, but like
what makes them different?
Oh, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it just does not work the way it should when you try and use a pair of scissors with your left hand.
But like they're just, it's like a circle and an oval. Like a circle and an oval isn't left or right.
Wait. Yes, it is though. Because
How?
when you put it, I don't know why, man. When you put it on your left hand, it just doesn't work. Maybe whatever the sharp side is, the longer blade. I'm not exactly sure why scissors are not ambidextrous, but they're not. They're designed for your right hand.
They look like they're designed to be ambidextrous, though. Like, do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with that statement. And the ones with the two handles are the same size. You can use both hands. Just the ones with the small hole for your thumb and the other one for your finger does not work great on your left hand. Couldn't tell you why. Can't explain it. I'm just telling you.
That's wild.
Even mouses. Mouses are designed for one hand or the other. Like
Yes.
I can use this with my left hand, but it's that much more comfortable using my right.
Yeah.
And then there's activities that I can switch it up for, but we're not gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Like,
wait. So when you're starting a new activity, and then you have to choose. Do you actually like try both, or do you just like? Is it natural you pick one?
No, because I got one hand for each basically at this point. So I know my left hand is better at doing things more precisely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I don't sew very often, but if I was ever going to try sewing, I would start with my left hand because typically that's my finesse hand. My right is all for power. So if I was lifting something, if I was doing, I don't even know, like, depends on the activity. But a lot of the time it's hard because I don't know which I want more. If I want more power, or I want more finesse. So then I got to try each with each hand.
So you'd go bowling with your right hand then?
Yeah, I bowl with my right hand.
Okay.
I throw a ball with my right hand.
Does it ever get confusing? Like, if you have to go buy like a new hockey stick and it's like you're using your right, but then you go to play baseball and you're using your left?
No, because I when I play baseball, I swing a bat right, and I shoot right in hockey, and I shoot right in lacrosse, and I swing a golf club right. Yeah.
Okay.
Right hand, like anything that involves power that I need like strength for, right-handed. Anything else that requires a little more precision and finesse, left hand. You know what else I didn't realize about right-handed people? Do you do this? Do you put the fork in your right hand, but then when you go to cut something, you switch your fork to your left hand, cut it up with the knife in your right hand, and then give the fork back to your fucking right hand to eat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that is some strange. When somebody told me that, like, that I didn't realize, first of all, that all right-handed people did that. And then when I learned it, I was like, that's some straight sicko shit, man. I eat, fork this hand, knife this hand. Does not switch. I can literally cut.
That'd be fantastic. Eat. I wish. Like, it's such a pain in the ass, like, switch. I don't know why. It's just like a natural thing. Because, like, my left hand, I swear to God, if I didn't have it, I wouldn't really notice, I don't think, until I really needed it for something. But, like, it's useless when it comes to using a knife for something.
Oh, you want to know something super weird? When I cut up a steak or a big piece of meat that requires a lot of this motion, I use my right hand. When I'm chopping something, like with like the nice chef's knife motion, I use my left hand.
Oh my God.
That makes even less sense. Like when I am chopping something up, like a piece of meat, if I was cutting up like the turkey at dinner, I would literally use my right hand with a carving knife. But if I'm chopping vegetables or mincing something, I use my left hand. When I worked in my first kitchen, the chefs were like, what the fuck's wrong with you, bro? You're just using your right a second ago. How the fuck did you do that? Or like, I cut myself on my right hand by accident with a knife doing something. And then they'd be like, yo, you were using your right hand to cut the meat up yesterday. Why are you using your left now? Ambidextrous, bitch.
That's wild. Do you think it's like an advantage being ambidextrous, or would you just prefer to be like right-handed or left-handed?
I would prefer to be one or the other. Don't mind the ambidextrousness is served me well in a lot of. I can actually switch hands now. I'm getting pretty good with it to the point where like. So have you ever tried to? You're not left-handed, but if you're left-handed, when you write, you drag your hand across whatever you're writing on. So if I write, when you write on a whiteboard, can you touch your hand to the whiteboard?
Yeah,
I have to leave my left hand floating. So I've actually learned to write on whiteboards and computers with my right hand.
Okay.
It's not as good as when I write with my left, but it looks way better than me doing the floating pencil with my left.
Right.
So I don't know. I think it will be an advantage as I get older and get better with using each. But it's kind of a pain in the ass. I'm trying to figure if I was to shoot a gun, which hand would I?
Finesse, 100%.
I think I'd want my power hand though to handle the recoil.
I feel like you'd just be like dual wield. It wouldn't even matter. You'd have one in each. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You're not just carrying one.
Definitely. Bro, I'd be carrying so many. I'd own so many guns if I lived in the US. Like, it's assault weapons. You know what's funny? Nobody can define an assault weapon. It's not like an actual weapon class.
Right.
Like, they talk about banning assault rifles, but what is an assault rifle?
I feel like everyone has like a picture of it, but like
a fully automatic.
Or is it
but like okay, like so for example, a pistol with a certain kinds of stocks is considered an assault rifle, but an AR-15 with different attachments with certain attachments on it is not considered an assault rifle.
I feel like they just need to kind of come up with a definition for something or stop trying to give definitions to things, one or the other.
Yeah, I think we need to just stop trying to put everything. Everything needs to connect or be in a box. And I don't like that.
Just let the thing
Gotta
be
be
the thing. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, that's my problem. And this is I've realized that when I've been doing these instant with Isaacs, which is definitely for all our listeners, this is something you need to look forward to. I am reviewing everything on a 10-point scale and then putting it in a category. But when I've been doing these, I'm putting them in categories, and I find it so challenging. Like McDonald's, for example. Is that fast food place a category, or is it like burgers? I don't know. Like, do I do the chicken sando separate, or do I do the restaurant as a whole? Right? Like, the trying to categorize things too much is very difficult.
That's kind of the issue I have with music genres. Things just cross too much at this point for it to like even matter.
If I was becoming an artist, I'd literally make an album that has one song from each genre. I'd make like a country trap song, like a hip hop song, do like a rock song, just confuse the fuck. I'm a classical, just singing shit. Like, why not?
Just,
like,
I think
know,
you do that just out of spite for like the Apple Music and like Spotify like genre categories, just to be like, find a spot to put this.
No, it's like, no, that would get you the most album reach ever. If I can hit like Rap Caviar, like all these like R&B classics, like all these different playlists, oh my God, your album would dominate.
True.
I don't know. I think our music is a little weird too. I think what actually gets out there and what like gets promoted, it doesn't make any sense. Is like a TikToker can make one song and it blows the fuck up, but people that have been making music for years on years on years on years, their songs just don't blow like that.
Well, it's the influence of social media, right?
I don't necessarily know, though. I think it might be the influence of the label.
That too.
So I think with these streaming services, they can highlight a song really well. They highlight some people's album drops way better than others.
That's fair.
Like, when certain people's albums are coming out, and then other people's drop, and you're like, oh, that came out.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that just kind of happened with Dreamville, where J. Cole dropped his album, but I'm pretty sure Boz, who's also on that label, dropped an album shortly before it, if I'm not mistaken. And I literally heard nothing about that, the Boz album, and then J. Cole's album was everywhere, clearly.
What I find weird about Dreamville, man, is J. Cole just picked the biggest artists and then found people that sound like them. Like that song Costa Rica, that first guy sounds exactly like Little Baby. You can't tell me other. The guy that comes in with I got big dreams, somehow I got a big face. That guy sounds exactly like fucking J. Cole. They got a guy in that song that says the demons that follow me deep in the dark part. That guy sounds exactly like fucking Drake.
Yeah, no, you're right. But I mean, they're trying to find things that people like, right? They're finding artists that people But like, I want something fresh and new.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. There's so many albums I've just been loving recently. I don't know. I'm liking music, but I don't like anything that's dropped recently. Like, a lot of it is bad. I'm listening to older music.
Yeah, I've been just staying away from most of the music that's dropped recently, and like even like the genres that people are listening to now, like a lot of the hip hop, R&B, pop music, I've been straying away from it. And not that I hadn't before, but I'm going back into the catalog of stuff I used to listen to a lot more.
No, exactly. Like, I don't know. I enjoy that old. I've gotten so fucking into Kanye recently, man. He's such a goat now, in my opinion. He's had such an iconic career. I don't know how to like.
Do you think it's time for him to retire, though?
No.
No?
He can't handle that.
Or do you think it's like the perfect time for him to like lock himself in the studio?
Number 2.
Yeah. I think he's at the perfect point where he could hit like the craziest album that we've heard in probably the past 10 years. Yeah.
If he does it right, man. His best album, in my opinion, came right after he was one of the most hated men on the planet for going. Have you seen that video? of him doing. Basically, he's at the music video awards, the
Mhm.
MMVAs, I'm pretty sure, and Taylor Swift wins Bet Music Video of the Year. And
Mhm.
that was when Beyonce had dropped the Single Ladies music video, which a lot of people argue is one of the best music videos of all time.
Mhm.
And she won the award. Kanye was emceeing, and when she won it, he literally walked out on the stage, grabbed the mic out of her hand, and he's like, I don't care what anybody says, I don't care what the critics say, I don't know what the artists say, but Beyonce had the best music video of all time. And
Mm,
like the shitty part about the whole situation is it was so mean what Kanye did to Taylor Swift because she's like
mm.
16 years old at the time, man.
Yeah.
Like this is like some 16-year-old girl whose like fame and recognition you're taking away. But in all fairness, she knew, I think she knew too, that she didn't fully deserve the award.
Yeah.
Like that Beyonce probably did have the better music video, but for him to go up there and just call it out that blatantly
Mhm.
was kind of the thing. And he was hated. There was articles just bashing on Kanye. So he decided that it's solutions time, right? So he moved. He went back to Africa for a while and did some stuff there, and
Mhm.
then decided he's like, "Fuck this! I'm making a new album to make a comeback. I'm not doing it in like regular America." He bought a house, or not bought a house, rented a house in Hawaii, and flew out the entire team he had for that album. And that was like iconic names. Like when you have Kid Cudi,
Mhm.
Jay-Z, Rick Ross,
Mhm.
Nicki Minaj, like all these like humongous Pusha T,
And what album
Rick
was that
Ross,
again?
My Beautiful Dark Twisted
The
Fantasy.
Fantasy. Right.
And what everybody says about that album is so different than any other recording they've ever done. Like Kanye had everybody wear suits
Mhm.
in the studio. They dropped music every Friday to give
Mhm.
people teasers of a lot of the songs that were going on the album, and made these like crazy things. He'd sit in the studio for like hours upon hours just mastering
Mhm.
this to be as good as possible.
Right.
And it's just, I don't know, he was in such a low place at the time, but then just fucking decided, you know what, I'm gonna do something crazy, make a
Mhm.
crazy album. And he did. So I think he can do it again after this divorce with Kim and stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I don't think he's necessarily hated right now. I think people just think he's crazy, and I think that's where like that's some of the best music you can create is when like being perceived as a nut
Yeah.
job.
No, he is nuts, man. He is nuts. He
But
has to be.
you have to be a little bit nuts to do something like he did, even when he did My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. You have to be a little crazy, right? Like no one's
Oh, I'm
coming up
not
with
saying
those ideas.
oh crazy. Yeah, and I think he's gonna drop the greatest album ever. But we'll just wait and see.
That's fair. It should be interesting. I've never really delved too far into Kanye's music, but like I've never not enjoyed it when it's been on. I've
There's a
enjoyed a
little
lot of it.
song called Kanye Crazy.
Yes, I remember that.
And oh, I'm going Kanye crazy.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, he's talking about like how he's getting so famous. I can't even imagine those famous guys. Like, I get why they go nuts, man. There's that pressure. Think about like when you're with your friends, for example, and you're just kind of not really feeling it. And everybody's
Mm.
like the other night I was out with a couple buddies and I was like not really feeling it. And everybody's like, hey, like what's up with you? And what's like,
Mm.
are you good? Like all that kind of shit. And I'm just like, man, I'm tired. Like I'm not really feeling this. Imagine that, but like everywhere you go all the time. You
Mm.
have to be in a good mood. You have to be on.
Mhm.
Because everybody knows if you have one, you slip up, you get caught lacking, you have a bad day, everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
Like I can't even imagine some of the stuff that's kind of happened to me and that I've done and stuff, like being a big public thing, not just like me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's pressure all the time that like you shouldn't have to deal with. Even when you're in the privacy of your own home, there's people kind of trying to, I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of
I
those
think
things where you
it's
don't
hard. I think
want
it's
to
awesome.
always be in the limelight. You want the separation.
Yeah. And I think for those people, it's such a weird thing. Like privacy isn't something we really think of as a luxury, but I think when you're at that level of status, it is. Like to be able to go somewhere that's completely private and do what you want to do, I think is like a gift. I don't think you get it as much as a lot of people.
Mhm. Well, it's just like when people go to hotels because I remember YBN Corday way back in the day. He stayed at a hotel in Ottawa and I knew that I knew where he was when I shouldn't have, because I knew someone who worked there, but it was one of those things where it was like, you shouldn't be telling me this.
Did you go knock on YB and Cortez' door?
Absolutely not. I would not do that. But like, it's one of those things where it's like they try to keep that so private. Like, that was something I should have never known. I've known of other people that have, like, there's some, you know, actors that have been in the city that I knew they were there even though I shouldn't have, right? Because I have friends working in these hotels, and you know, they slip their tongues every once in a while, which is fine. I mean, I'm not going knocking on these people's doors. I'm not going to tell anyone else, but at the same time, like, them just having to like literally hide these actors and these famous people in their own hotels that they're staying in is ridiculous.
Yeah. No, like you got to be hidden. Oh, we're doing this Italian style.
Imagine having to go in the back door to get into your hotel every time instead of being able to walk to the lobby.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's weird. I think people got to start caring less about celebrity.
I don't understand why people care so much about celebrities anymore.
What are they famous for? Kim made a sex tape, and now they're the biggest name in the world. Like, how the fuck did that happen? I want somebody. I need to get. I'm gonna hire myself. If I become wealthy enough, I'm just hiring a camera guy to follow me around. I feel like if anybody, not anybody, you gotta have a slightly exciting life. But if you have a slightly exciting life and you just had a guy with a camera follow you around, I think you could put together a crazy fucking vid each week and blow yourself up.
Yeah, I mean, it could be entertaining enough regardless, right? And worst comes to worst, you just paid some guy some money and you gave him a job, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
As long as that camera guy can do all the editing for you, I mean, why not?
And that's okay. That's my next question now. Do you want to meet a famous person?
I guess it depends who it is, and like, how famous are we talking?
No, I want to meet like a rapper so badly. And there's a couple of them I really want to meet, just because I think I could convince them like, if I had to sit down and just hang out with them for 20 minutes, I think I could get them to like me enough that I could get to come with them and just fucking bool.
How long would you want to do that for, though?
Snoop Doggy Dogg just started hanging around. He'd just keep me around. He'd be like, yeah, we'll give you a job or something. That's the goal. I want to, if I don't have a cool job coming out of school, I just want to go to culinary school, get a chef's certificate, and then try and become the private chef for a rapper.
Yeah.
I think I want Little Dirk and the O Block bands and just be cooking out on O Block.
Sounds like a good enough time to me.
Exactly. Travel.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting gig, that's for sure. I think it'd be fun for a while. I think eventually you'd want to settle down a bit, but
yeah, I don't see that for myself personally. I'm never gonna be that calm, composed.
I'm not saying that, but you might not want to constantly be traveling.
I want to do shit,
right? Like, you want to have like a home base at least.
Yeah,
at least a couple of them.
I'm not big on, like, I don't really need a home base. I could literally live out of my car.
You think
honest,
so?
if I really wanted to or needed to, yeah, 100%, so easily. Just throw my shit in there. As long as I had a place to sleep, like in the evenings, I don't really care. I don't really care where I end up. I don't really care what I do. Like, I'm pretty open and like the idea of just kind of traveling around. I don't really want to be in one place, to be completely friggin' frank with you.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard a lot of comedians talk about how they start their careers by, like, basically just getting in their car and doing random shows at random places all around the country. And just doing that until they get famous enough. And, like, for me, like, I don't know if that's necessarily the career I want to pursue, but to do something like that would be the best thing ever. If I could literally get myself a little bus and just fucking whip around from place to place, get work in different cities every night, just fucking bold, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
And that's what I love about podcasting too, right? Is like, this can be done so easily from anywhere.
Right. You can just pull up with this in the back of a bus, just have a table that we roll out. Just sit ourselves down in a park somewhere.
Eventually, 100%. I am open, mildly indecisive for all you people watching is going to start doing podcasts in some crazy locations.
Podcasting on the road.
Just for shit. Yeah, it'd be fun.
think it'd be a different time, that's for sure.
Or,
It'd be a
like,
different vibe. Pull some
you ever seen
random
the
guy
old
off the street.
police guy? Yeah, like I want to go to like an Antifa rally, like bunch of Antifa guys, and it's just you and me. Oh, you know what?
What's going on? Hey,
Oh,
man.
oh, Ian, actually, okay. I'm sorry, but and I know we don't usually do videos on podcasts because it doesn't work this well, but we're gonna try one video because it's too good. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a bit of backstory. It's called Antifa Frying Pan. All right.
Okay.
I saw this on a YouTube channel originally, and then saw it on, then went and watched it myself. Go. Okay, do you see the guy with the dart in his mouth? So everybody wearing those pink things is an Antifa member. And Antifa, a lot of the time, give a bit of backstory, like is known for like attacking people, like in the streets wearing manga hats and like beating people up and stuff like that. So like they're a super violent group and they're finally being declared like a terrorist organization. So this guy is at an Antifa protest and he brought a frying pan with him.
Right.
It's the guy with the dart, right?
Yeah.
So people are like fighting these Antifa people.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, it's so good too because he comes like it's one. He literally comes in and he like cracks one, and then there's literally an identical guy standing behind him. Like just boom, boom.
Rapid strike. Do you think the frying pan would be a fantastic weapon to have in a zombie apocalypse because it's just so light? Just
I don't know.
It's
my burglar weapon. Bro, like knife and frying pan, you're not fucking me up. I don't care if you have a knife, man. If you and I are fighting and I have a knife and frying pan, I'm winning. Because I just got to hit the knife, your knife with the frying pan and then stab you with my knife.
Right.
Bro, okay, I got to say, do you ever like, you ever at home and you're like thinking of like burglar scenarios?
Oh, all the time, yeah.
Yeah, bro, I want one at this point, especially when I'm at my university house. Like, I want somebody to break in so badly.
Yeah.
Because he's just gonna die. Like, unless you have a gun, you're not winning coming into my house. There's 5 fucking full like men at this point, grown men. You break in, you're gonna get fucked.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta kill 5 of us. How the fuck are you gonna manage that? Like we're pretty competent. Like, I feel like at least one of us could get a knife and stab you in the time it would take you to take down the other 4.
Yeah, that's fair. I also think that I also go through these scenarios when I'm walking around at night and thinking about what if I'm gonna get mugged, what I'd do. I feel like it's just, everyone's always thinking of like the worst case scenario, you know?
Yeah, but my buddy and I we got fried and we were walking back home, and some guy comes out. I don't know where this guy came from, man. He's just walking. All of a sudden, we're like walking. I look back. There's nobody behind me. Like 2 seconds later, I turn my head again. There's a guy walking behind me with like a crowbar, and I'm like, I'm like looking over at her, and I'm like, yo, dog, we gotta speed up. Like, we gotta pick up the pace. We're gonna get fucked. But guy ended up like, it was a nothing scenario. But I was just like, fuck, man, what are we gonna do? 2 of us against the guy with a crowbar.
Yeah.
Crowbar, man, that's a weapon.
Yeah.
Good weight for swinging. 1 swing, you break somebody's kneecap. I want to start. If I was going to carry a weapon, though, I don't know if you've ever seen extendos. Those are the god tier self-defense weapon.
Yeah.
Like, they're heavy, like a crowbar. They're small. Like, literally, I would
Those
get.
are the batons that they carry, like the police carry that extend, right?
The police one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they extend. And literally, like, there's a lot of like leg mounts. So, like, I could literally feel like I could wear that to a bar on my leg. And then basically, if somebody was to like punch me and I fell, once I'm on the ground, I could easily get it out and hit them over the knee with it. And once if you took one of those to the knee, your knee is done. Like, you're not walking. So, like, say, because I've seen some fights, I've been in a few. And one of them I fell and somebody started kicking me. And I don't know if you know how defenseless like it feels when you're on the ground and somebody's kicking you with their foot, like you're just basically protecting your head. You can give less of a fuck about your ribs and everything else. like your face and your head because that's really gonna hurt. But all I can think in that scenario, I'm like, God damn, extendo on the leg, I would be bashing that guy's shin. Like he would not be kicking me.
No, not anymore. At least.
I was like, that's a good self defense weapon because then once you're down, at least you can protect yourself
No, of course.
in kind of a way that the other person's very vulnerable at that point while you're on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like extendo all the way, man.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think this is also a great spot to end off our podcast. Leave you with some life tips on how to defend yourself. Keep thinking of those scenarios. Run them through your head. Always have a backup plan. But this has been the Mildly Indecisive podcast, and we'll see you next time.